Alright, so let's have another look at another game system that I've been running for a little while on Foundry. This is Symbaroum, which is these days is free league as well, like many of the others I've been recording here. And yeah, I've been playing this for a little while with my group, and just finished the first part of the Wrath of the Warden. So I thought I'd just give you a short overview. And I mean, again, it's nothing too clever. I haven't set up anything like macros or something. It's just basically Perfectro's Symbaroum system, plus all the data that I put in, a couple of other things. So what does it look like? We have a few scenes here, as you can see. And oh yes, modules. Before I forget, I'm just going to show you the modules I use on this one, because there's always a question that comes up. So I'll just scroll down. I won't go through all of them at all. PD Foundry is crucial for me. A lot of the other things I don't use fully. Pop out, of course, is important. Pings is important. The dice tray I like, but we don't use that a lot. And the calendar and weather is useful for me. Right, so that's the modules. Next, let's have a look at some scenes. So I've set up, for example, a campaign at Thistlehold. This is slightly spoilery, but yeah, Thistlehold in Wrath of the Warden. And we have my intrepid group sitting here and basically crowding around. And you can see some of them did some portraits here on, what is it called, Hero Forge, and some other ones are still the originals. This we just use as a sort of overview map, as it's meant to be. Of course, we use the full sort of map from the modules as well. Yeah, and then if I wanted to battle map on some of these, I don't use them for everything. I've set up the Hall of the Rubble Hill as a dungeon fog map, which looks like this. Yeah, of course, with a vision, it's quite cool. Unfortunately, the lighting is a bit stark, but it does get the mood across. Yeah, was quite a battle here, but actually they were meant to be slightly weakened before the main battle in this one here. So this is zoomed in essentially. Then we have a couple of other scenes I set up. Was the tannery, for example. Let me just go over here. Pull an icon onto it, a token into it. So this is quite a big battle again. I just used the map provided. I changed the scale a bit because I thought it was a bit too small. And added some walls and some lighting to this. So that's what it looks like with closed doors, etc. I quite like this lighting system now. Now I'm getting to grips with it slowly. And another scene I set up, which I quite liked, was, let me just find it again, the Crystal Island. Yes, that's right. So this is another Dungeon Fog map. If you're a Dungeon Fog user, these are shared public maps, so if you want to grab it, by all means do. They should be available even on the free account. So this is the big island and the cave underneath the city. And if you know the scenario, then you know why the altar looks the way it does. Right, I set up all my abilities here, and the items and the usual stuff that I always do. Weapons and armor is a bit easier to set up in this system because there's not so many variations of everything. But it took a little while to get that all in. The rituals are set up here. And the icons, all that comes from Perfectro. Comes from the GM gameicons.net, I think. That's where he gets them from. But that could be quite useful. If you wanted to design your own, you can easily change the icons as well. In the journal, I typically share player documents, so they can have the sort of previously on notes, and from session to session. We typically play once a fortnight. This is a good way of them taking notes. This is a player-owned thing, and I can drop things into like the links to the handouts, yeah, that I've given them throughout. I then create, of course, my own references, just rules reference. As you can see, I've been a bit lazy here, just used the PDF, PD Foundry for a lot of this. And then the story, basically, I took a lot of the texts from the actual scenario and put it into here, so I always have it at my fingertips. So I don't want to spoil too much, but for example, if I looked at just a random one, the Hall of the Royal Hill. We just looked at that. So it's a short description. I highlight the things that I wanted to have and I link in the characters that I need. The mall transformation, he didn't even get to do that. They overwhelmed him so quickly. That was annoying. I was looking forward to having a bunny hop around. Rollable tables, I haven't got anything on here because we don't have any critical injury tables or anything like that. So I kept it very simple. And music, of course, yeah, I've got a few things here as background, but I'm still struggling with the music. If you've got some good ways of making sure the music is well balanced when it arrives at the other end and doesn't interfere with the microphones, then let me know. I really would like to use a bit more music, but whenever I do it, something goes wrong. Right. What else could I show you on this one? Oh yeah, the character sheets. Let's have a look at, who shall we look at? Let's look at the Rayjaw, our big ogre here. So as you can see, this is what the character sheet looks like from Perfectro's system. You populate it, drag and drop with all the abilities and all the equipment, and then when you're ready to attack somebody, you can just, for example, say, okay, I'm going to do a sword attack. You've got a chance here to say, okay, I'm going to have a modifier of -5 because this guy is really, really quick, the guy I'm trying to hit. You roll it, there comes the die, and he rolls extra dice for this, for damage and so on. So we've got a success. He cost 1 damage. That was not a lot for an ogre. One tricky thing on Symbaroum is all the effects you get. These effects can, for example, make you stronger. They can allow you to attack with another attribute rather than the strong. And a lot of that you need to configure. I started to configure here on these items. So for example, on the sword, you can then say, okay, what are you attacking with? And you need to make sure that that is right. So if it changes from fight to fight, that can be very annoying. These are bonuses as well, so if you've got magic items, he's accommodated that really well, the Perfectro guy. What I also have done here, for example, when you go berserk, your strength goes up, your armor protection goes up, but your defense goes down. So what we set up here with the different bonuses and so on, if you just click on these little things, this is studded leather and robust. And now he's not berserk, and if he needs to go to berserk, then basically what he has to do is this. And then all the stats should be adjusting in the background. Right, so Rich Ogre. Yeah, this page, just to show you this as well, nicely designed. Some of the stuff is slightly small, the entrance fields, I feel. And then we've got notes that the player has taken himself. Right, if you wanted to roll on, for example, a strong test, yeah, works the same way as the attacks. So this is a fail. That's rare for him to fail, something like this. Experience points up here. You know, how many has he got in total? How many unspent? This is all not very exciting. But what I quite like is the quick reference you've got here. So if you've got a talent, you can actually level it out from novice. Yes, tier talents in Symbaroum. So adept to master. And if somebody levels it up, you tick the box over here. And then all it does is change. Hopefully you can see it down here. It changes the letters that are shown. It doesn't do anything mechanically behind it. That's something you would have to do yourself. There's no or very little automation in this. So yeah, that's a quick tour. Pretty looking character sheets. I feel it has been running really well. We've been running it for a good 12 sessions now on this one. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. So I hope this was useful to you guys. If you've got any questions or even tips for me, then please put them in the comment as always. Thank you very much.